The brightest minds have penned millions of words about consciousness and mind, with little results of any consequences. Where can we locate a complete explanation of body, mind, and consciousness? Hello. Welcome to The Explanation with Sam Kneller. This episode, where is the full definition of mind, body, and consciousness, comes from the book Mind-Body Problem Solved and is brought to you by theexplanation.com. Where is the full definition of mind, body, and consciousness? Imagine finding a full definition of body, consciousness, and mind. What would that do for your trust in the document containing the full definition? Considering there are about 130 million unique books, and we're not even sure the full definition is in any of these, we've got our work cut out for us. But we can do this search for a full definition of consciousness and mind systematically. Let's do it. Since we're looking to a higher power, sacred books are where we turn to pursue a study of theology, the words relating to God with a small or capital G. If you have happened upon this episode, I suggest you read this short theology episode first to see why we're even broaching this subject. Sacred books are historic writings, generally penned by men or women to whom a higher power revealed the content. Followers often worship the source of the works as God. These writings represent the foundation of knowledge, wisdom, and revelation from this divinity regarding the past, present, and future. These books teach a way of thought and actions and are often the basis for a society of members applying principles to organize their daily lives individually and collectively. The key to sacred books is their inspiration derives from an outside authority, something beyond human capacity and reason. The idea is, whatever the origin, their knowledge and wisdom are superior to that of humans. Hence, these sacred writings contain information that is more useful to humankind than what humankind itself can develop, investigate, or imagine. Let's reduce our choice of books. Here's a non-exhaustive list of sacred books with some of their followers. The Apocrypha, Gospel of Thomas. Buddhism, the Tripitaka and the Dhammapada. Christianity, the Christian Bible, especially the New Testament and the Gospels, sacred tradition. Confucianism, the Analects of Confucius, also the I Ching. Epicureanism, principal doctrines. Hinduism, Shruti, Vedas, including the Riga Veda and Aranyakas, Brahmanas, Upanishads. Islam, the Quran, also Hadith and the Sunnah. Judaism, the Hebrew Bible, Tanakh, Torah, Nevi'im, and Ketuvim. The Talmud, which includes Pirkei Avot. Mormonism, Book of Mormon, Pearl of Great Price, Doctrine and Covenants. Satanism, the Satanic Bible. Sikhism, the Guru Granth Sahib and the Dasam Granth Sahib. Taoism, the Tao Te Ching, also Chuang Tzu and the I Ching. Identifying the sacred book. How to identify that one book? Here's how. If you had a group of 100 people, how would you determine the one you're trying to find? You'd look for evidence, proof, identifying signs. For instance, if you know the person you're looking for is male, you're down to 50 people. Has brown eyes. Then you've eliminated another 20 people. If the person is between 1.60 meters and 1.70 meters, you're down to 10 people. And so forth. Mustache, blonde, teeth, DNA, until you've identified the one and only. The identifying signs of the one sacred book we're looking for reveal answers to the why questions. The evidence is explanations of all the big questions in life. It must not only give us the what and how of consciousness and mind, but especially the why. The full definition. We should expect nothing less from the higher power. The fundamental reason I wrote Inventory of the Universe and Audit of the Universe and Humankind was to flush out these identifying signs. How so? I summarized many of the why questions science, philosophy, and religion don't or can't answer. Click here for a partial list of dozens of questions from Inventory, and another with points to ponder from the Audit books. Every single why question needs an answer, and the sacred text that answers all of those why queries with coherent words in a systematic way is the one we want to use. The why questions are so much more vital than what or how. There isn't physical proof to offer because they are ideas, goals, desires, plans established in the higher power's mind. We rarely, if ever, think about or consider the why questions regarding the motivation of individuals. This one sacred book must give a full definition of the answers. List of basic questions humankind cannot answer. Why are humans intelligent? Why are humans the only species that is worldwide? Why does humankind alone have the responsibility for the state of this planet? Why are humans sociable? Why do men, women, and children worldwide live in some form of relationship, generally marriage and family? Why are couples worldwide obliged to raise their children? Why do children take so many years to reach maturity? Why is this world in such an upset state? And how is it possible to clear it up? And the key question of this book, unanswered by the best brains of humankind: what is the full definition of consciousness and mind? One sacred book. Our one sacred book must answer not just 25% or 50% or 72%, but 100% of these questions, and indeed, even the issues that we don't think to interrogate. The coherent, complete theology, the source's sacred book, must answer these why questions. The holy book that gives us the correct answers points us to the source, who has recorded the answers to the why questions for humankind's benefit. We're going deep, deep, deep to search for a sacred book from a source beyond humankind that can throw light on a full definition of subjects like why human life. The Bible. Let's cut through the Gordian knot. In the Oriental world, their sacred books do not purport to answer why questions. In the entire Western world, the sacred book is the Bible. Judaism limits itself to the Old Testament, but Christianity, in all its variegated forms, accepts and believes in both the Old and New Testaments. Some Christian religions consider additional works as sacred. These works may throw light on some questions we're considering, but the cornerstone, key, and common denominator of Western spirituality remain the Bible. The bottom line is the only book considered sacred, inspired by a higher power that answers all our questions, is the Bible. I realize that's a huge statement you might not agree with. You could adamantly disagree. There are many Christians and Christian theologians who would take offense to such an affirmation. Here's the challenge. Show me writings that do answer all these questions. I also understand that you might acknowledge the Bible as a special work, but not accept it as a sacred book, and certainly not as one inspired by a source beyond humanity, with answers to all our mundane, earthy questions, like a full definition of what a human is. Okay, this is where I need to ask you for patience. Such a subject takes time to develop, and that's what the rest of this book, Mind-Body Problem Solved, is all about. Please stay curious and keep reading. Why would I focus on the Bible? On the Old and New Testaments. The Bible is an incredible paradox, the all-time bestseller, and also all-time number of misunderstandings. Maybe you're not a Bible advocate. You've had no interest in or turned off involvement with this book. Many believe it's a myth, a collection of tales, many gleaned from other cultures. It's filled with errors and discrepancies. For now, I simply ask you to keep an open mind and bear with me. We want and need writings that answer the big questions in life. And the explanation will show you the Bible does just that. The identifying signs of the one sacred book we're looking for is that it will give real, coherent, and complete answers to the basic questions for which humankind does not have answers. Of all the sacred books I listed above, the Bible is the only one that has the answers to these fundamental questions of life. And if you don't mind, I'll add death. Because since we're all subject to that, it is a fundamental question which we cannot ignore. Why death? What is its purpose? Is there an afterlife? Why? How? Where? Under what conditions? Does everyone participate? And the list of down-to-earth questions goes on and on. Now, let's get down to brass tacks. That I focused attention on the Bible is nothing new. After all, many preachers are pounding out messages from the Bible. Hotel rooms carry a copy, and they'll even deliver one to your door free, accompanied by people who will explain certain teachings directly from the Bible's words. So why continue reading what the explanation writes about the Bible? Because whatever language translations you're using, other than the biblical Hebrew, are incomplete and do not tell the entire story. Please don't get me wrong. I wrote incomplete and the entire story. Oh yes, the English, French, German, Spanish, Japanese, Chinese, indeed all translations do tell a story, but not the complete story. Sorry for the capital letters, but I need you to pay attention and stop and even get a little irritated by both the way and what I just wrote. I'd like to move you enough to become inquisitive about what the biblical Hebrew states and what you are missing in your comprehension of this one sacred book, the Bible, and what it reveals about the full dimension of consciousness and mind. This episode is brought to you by The Explanation Bible Institute. Unlock Bible meaning with 7 keys to master biblical Hebrew, a proven method to grasp the God-given original meaning of Scripture, available at theexplanation.com. Keep seeking answers to the big questions in life and reveal the explanation.